viewers, welcome to Newton Spectra Extramural Academy channel. So in today's class, we're going to continue with our lesson on inequality. And today, I'm going to show you how to solve inequality with the same variables on both sides. But before we proceed, I would like us to quickly recall the rules for solving inequality. The rules for solving inequality. And what does the rule says? The first rule says that when we add or subtract a number from both sides, the inequality sign remain unchanged. That is, if we are given 5 to be greater than 2, 5 to be greater than 2, if I subtract 1 or I add 1 to both sides, if I subtract 1 or I add 1 to both sides, my inequality sign will remain unchanged. That is, if I have 5 minus 1 greater than 2 minus 1, I'm going to be having 4 to be greater than 1. My inequality remain unchanged. It will remain unchanged. That's for rule 1. Now, rule 2 says that when we multiply or divide a positive number from both sides, the inequality sign remain unchanged. The inequality sign remain unchanged. That is, if I'm given 5 to be greater than 2, so if I divide this by 1 or I multiply this by 1, that is, I multiply both sides by 1 or I divide both sides by 1, my inequality sign will remain unchanged. That is, I'm going to be having 5 multiplied by 1 greater than 2 multiplied by 1 positive number, and this is going to give me 5 to be greater than 2. The sign remain unchanged. My inequality sign remain unchanged. Now the rule 3. The rule 3 says that if I multiply or divide both sides by a negative number, for instance, if we have 5 to be greater than 2 divided by minus 1 or multiply by minus 1. We do this to both sides, minus 1 or multiply by minus 1. My inequality sign will change. That is, if I have 5 to be divided by minus 1 greater than 2 divided by minus 1. If I divide this now, I'm going to be having 5 to be less than 2. That is, my inequality sign will change. And I need us to take note of this particular rule as we proceed in solving the following question here. Also, I want us to note this. I want us to note this that if minus cross the border of inequality, if minus cross the border of inequality, is going to change to plus. And when plus cross the border of inequality, is going to change to minus. Likewise, if we have plus minus plus, this will be equals to minus. Minus plus plus will be equals to minus. Plus plus minus will be equals to minus. Minus times minus will be equals to plus. And minus times plus will be equals to minus. Please, let's take note of all these rules as we proceed in our calculation. So now, let's solve the inequality given to us one after the other. Example 1. Given that 7x plus 15 is less than or equal to x plus 3, we are to find the value of x. Now, to find the value of x, there are several ways to solve this inequality with two variables, but in this class, I'm going to show you the simplest and the fastest way to solve this inequality with two variables. So let's get started. The first thing we need to do is to collect the like terms. Collect the like terms. Now, the like terms now will be 7x minus x less than or equals to 3 minus 15. Don't forget, I told you that when a negative number cross the border of inequality is going to change to plus, and when positive number cross the border of inequality is going to change to minus, as the case may be. Now, let's proceed. This will be 6x less than or equals to minus 12. Now, the next thing we need to do is to divide both sides. You say divide both sides, that's the coefficient of x given here, divide both sides by plus 6. So we're going to be having 6x over plus 6 less than or equals to minus 12 divided by plus 6. So in this case now, we're going to be having x to be less than or equals to minus 2. The inequality sign will remain unchanged, and we can re-express this to be minus 2 to be greater than or equals to x. Now let's continue with the second example. Example 2 says that we should find the value of x given that 8x plus 1 is less than or equals to 4x minus 3. Now, we're going to do the same thing here by collecting the like times. We have 8x minus 4x less than or equals to minus 3 minus 1. We're going to be having 4x to be less than or equals to minus 4. Divide both side by positive 4. Divide both side by plus 4. And my x is going to be less than or equals to minus 1, or you say minus 1 is greater than or equals to x. That will be our answer for the second example. Let's proceed to the third example. Given that 2x is greater than 3 minus x. Now, the next thing we need to do is to collect the like terms, and we're going to be having 2x plus x greater than 3. This will be 3x greater than 3. Divide both side by plus 3. Divide both side by plus 3. And we're going to be having x to be greater than 1. X to be greater than 1, or we say 1 is less than x. Let's proceed to the fourth example. Example 4. Given that 5x plus 1 is greater than 10 minus x. Now, the next thing we need to do is to collect the like terms. I'm going to be having 5x plus x is greater than 10 minus 1. So this will be 6x greater than 9. Divide both side by positive 6. Divide both side by plus 6. Now, our x will be greater than 9 over 6. And this implies that x will be greater than 3 over 2. And we can re-express this as 1 whole number 1 over 2, or we say 1.5. And this can be re-expressed as 1.5 to be less than x. 1.5 to be less than x. We can re-express our answer like this. Let's proceed to the fifth example. Example 5. Given that 4x minus 2 is greater than or equals to 9x plus 8. All we need to do now is to collect the like terms. So you say 4x minus 9x greater than or equals to 8 plus 2. This will be minus 5x greater than or equals to 10. Divide both side by negative 5. Divide both side by negative 5. Don't forget the rules that says that when we are dividing by a negative number, the inequality sign will change. So in this case, x will be less than or equals to minus 2. X will be less than or equals to minus 2, or we say minus 2 is greater than or equals to x. So let's consider the sixth example given to us. The sixth example says that when 13x minus 12 is less than 3x plus 13, what is x? What is the value of x? So we collect the like times here. 13x minus 3x is less than 13 plus 12. This will be 10x less than 25. Divide both side by positive 10, which is the coefficient of x, positive 10. So x will be less than 25 over 10. So we can proceed by saying x is less than 5 in 25 is 5 and 5 in 10 is 2. And we can re-express this to be 2 number 1 over 2, or we say 2.5. Therefore, x is less than 2.5, or you say 2.5 is greater than x. If you like my video, I would like you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. So before we go, I need you to practice this
questions here to know if you have already mastered your knowledge on how to solve inequality with two variables. So let's consider the following exercise.